Welcome to the 4th episode of Never Trust a Skinny Cook. So I was going to do croutons and homemade bread today, but I had a doctor's appointment, so I didn't have time for that. But I am going to do chicken pot pie. So, first of all, I made some errors in yesterday's. I'm going to correct them. It was 3 teaspoons of seasoning salt, not tablespoons. And also a tablespoon of baking powder that I forgot to tell you on. I'll add it to the caption on there, but I kind of messed up. So, first step in this is I have my iron skillet. I'm going to actually do the pot pie in this iron skillet in the oven. I have a half a cup of butter melting right now, which is a stick of butter. So we're going to get that melted. And I have done all my prep ahead of time. You can come over here, Katie. I got butter. Okay. Here I have a medium-sized onion, 4 stalks of celery. We're going to put that in there just like that. Start browning that up. This is going to go quite quickly because you kind of add everything together quickly. So, this butter melting here. As soon as that butter is melted, I'm going to add some other stuff as soon as all the butter is melted. But get the onions and the celery going first. So. Okay, so the next thing is, I did 3 cups of potatoes, 2 cups of carrots, diced up, or sliced up. I did the potatoes kind of small, not too small, you know, so we're going to stir that all in, and we're going to let these kind of brown a little bit, and then I'm going to add all my seasonings right now. So right here they are. Show these. Okay, this is a teaspoon of smoked paprika, a teaspoon of white pepper, you can use black pepper, a teaspoon of onion salt, a teaspoon of poultry seasoning, and 2 teaspoons of parsley. I'm going to dump this all in right now. And stir it in. And we are going to let that cook down a little bit. And while this is cooking down on medium high, just kind of let it saute on medium high, I am going to show you what chicken I use. So we'll get over to the chicken. Alright, so there's a few choices for chicken. If you want to use a chicken breast that's raw, you can. If you do, get a couple of them, dice it up small, and you'd want to add it right now and saute it in with all your vegetables. I don't do that. I love the rotisserie chicken at Costco. It's $5. You can make several things with 1 chicken. You could actually have it for dinner and then pull it apart and make soup or chicken salad or this. So I am going to start pulling this apart. And basically, I don't cut it, I just pull it apart. And I don't know if you, and I do the skin and all because that's where a lot of the flavor is. I just pull it apart. When you use this already cooked chicken, don't add it right now. I don't add it until I add the gravy to it, make the gravy, because it's already cooked. You don't need to cook it, you know, so done that it's, you know, gets tough. So I'm going to pull this apart. Depending on the size of pot pie. I'm doing quite a large pot pie. If it were just Rich and I that were going to eat, I would be making a much smaller one. You can cut the ingredients down in half and do a much smaller pot pie. You can do it in a pie, tin. I like it done in the iron skillet best. So just cut everything in half if you're going to use a regular pie dish. But I'm having a company for dinner tonight. Caden's parents. We're having a dinner party. And so I am making a little bit bigger one. Plus all my kids and my son-in-law will all eat this, and my sister. So we're going to have a little dinner party. So I'm getting all this meat off here. And I just dig in and break it apart. There's also really good stuff at the bottom of this. All the gel and stuff, so I'll show you. I use this. I put this in with it as well, because that's all the good juice. And it will make your pie delicious. So I'm doing about probably 3 cups of meat for this. Just whatever parts. We like the thighs we like less breast for this. The breast, though, of this is really good for chicken salad. I would say that the dark meat, thighs and legs are better in the pot pie for me. And that's that. So I'm going to stir this a little bit, finish picking this chicken apart, and we'll be right back. Okay, so you want to saute the vegetables until they're not soft, but I guess tender. So it just depends on how many vegetables you're doing. Depends on it. They will cook more in the oven, but you want them to be tender. So they've been cooking now maybe 7-8 minutes, and they're not tender yet. So we'll keep doing that. In the meantime, I have preheated the oven to 375, if that is what you want it on. And I am not going to do homemade crust today. I'm only going to do a top crust. And it is going to be with puff pastry. So, I just get the Pepperidge Farm. They sell it at the grocery store. Puff pastry. Right here. Just puff pastry. And I am going to roll it out thin. So, floured surface. And I'm going to roll it out. And you want it big enough for, now if you make a good crust, you could certainly do a crust, and you can do a top crust and a bottom crust if that's what you like. I'm going to make this puff pastry just on the top, and then I'm going to cook some extra on the side for people who want a little more crust. I will bake it. So, we got it rolled out. That's big enough to go over my pan. And I'm going to wait until these veggies are tender, and then we will go over the thickening agent and the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so these have sauteed. They are not tender yet. So I'm going to go ahead and add a cup of water, which will help them tender up. They're pretty good sauteed. Once you get a good saute on them, then you can add some of your liquid. And I'm going to add a cup of water and let that come to a boil, and that will help tenderize them a little bit quicker and get the show on the road. So as soon as those are tender, we will add the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so now I'm going to add, all together to mine, I'm going to add five cups of water. And that's because mine is bigger. Honestly, you just basically want the vegetables that you have in there covered. And I'm going to bring that to a boil. Then I'm also going to add the rest of the vegetables. Here I have a cup and a half of frozen corn and a cup of petite peas. I'm going to add those into this mixture. Okay. And I'm going to bring it to a boil. And then I'm going to add my Better Than Bouillon. So if you don't have this and you want to use chicken stock, again, just use enough chicken stock to cover your vegetables. I don't use chicken stock, I use water, and I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons of my Better Than Bouillon. That's about 2 tablespoons of my Better Than Bouillon. Chicken. And I'm going to bring this to a boil. I'm going to bring it to a boil and let it simmer for about 10-15 minutes before I add the thickening agents. Right now I'm also going to add my chicken. So, yes, I'm going to simmer this for about 15 minutes. Just let it come to a boil and then simmer 15 minutes. And I'll be back after it's simmered 15 minutes. Okay, so now I'm going to put the crust on. Kate and I want you to come over here. I'm going to take out my other ones real quick. My extras. I'm just going to put it on here. Okay, let me get my pan. Alright, I'm going to sit this up on a baking sheet so that if it decides to overflow in the oven, I won't have a smoky mess. And my bird, he likes to make the same sound as the smoke alarm. Okay. Drape it over, and I'm going to leave it just draped right over the side of the pan. Kind of push it on there. There we go. And I'm going to cut about 3 slits in the top. And then I'm going to put it in the oven and bake it for 20 to 25 minutes, just until it's puffed up nicely and golden brown. Oh, I forgot. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to brush it with some butter first. Oops. Okay, so now I'm going to brush it with some melted butter. That's what I'm going to do before we bake it. You can also use egg white if you don't want to use butter, or you don't have to brush it with anything, but it turns out more golden brown if you put, you know, either butter or egg white on it. Do the edges there really good. Do some butter. Okay, all the way around. There we go. Now we're going to put it in the oven, like I said, 20 to 25 minutes till it's just golden brown. The inside's already cooked, so you don't have to worry about, you know, the chicken getting done and the veggies getting done because they're done. So now it's just the pastry itself. And we'll leave it in there for 20-25 minutes. See you then. Okay, so couple of changes. I ended up turning it up to 400 and it cooked for 35 minutes. So that's a change. Change it to 400, 35 minutes. And here it is. And how you serve it is just scoop it out like this. Take some of this crunchy off the edge here. This. Look at that. And I did make some extra right over here. I made some extra puff pastries, about 7 minutes on 400. Just cut it into strips. So if anyone wants extra, there it is. Puff pastry, chicken pot pie. My brother Will is here, his wife Shelly. So we are going to have our dinner, and my sister Melinda's here too. And my next episode is going to be my homemade croutons. It'll just be a quick one. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Share on your Facebook page. The more people who watch it, the more that I will do. And what did I always say? Never trust a skinny cook.
They're supposed to be like that?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see how they work. See, I was thinking like this, see? Easier to grab, right?
Well, I'm going to be shy here.